Alright, so I just got done yoga, hot yoga. If you watched the video before this, depending when I upload it. But the one thing I wanted to talk about, and they constantly bring it up in class, and they'll say it all the time, is that you are stronger than you think you are. And what happens a lot of time is it's it's a natural defense mechanism that our body doesn't want to exert itself. It's what it comes down to. Because think of, years ago when we had the tigers and everything else. If we spent all our time running to our fullest, capacity, then what's going to end up happening is that when there's danger involved, you're just basically not going to be able to, run anymore. You're just done at that point. So this applies to your business and everything else. Years ago when we were at our the most stressful time, where basically, we're working 80 hours plus a week. I was working that, my wife was working it, my son going to, at the time I think he was 5, and after he's done school, then we're picking him up and taking him back to the warehouse, and he's there for hours, and we're just working all the time. And we back then, there just wasn't any other option. So if you currently you own your own business, but then your spouse is doing has another job, at least then you kind of have something to fall back on. But in our case, I made my wife quit. I just said I'm simply too busy. And when stuff like that happens, when your back is against the wall, there's basically no other option but to just keep on moving on. Otherwise, you just basically risk losing, everything. But, what's the point of this? Well, we're always going to go through some sort of struggle. I just went through it again, both in personal and within the business as well. And there was just, it's kind of like what I've talked about this from surfing standpoint of things, but everything seems like it kind of comes in sets. So the good times and the bad times, right? So what'll happen always seems like the bad times, because you don't really focus on the good stuff. But you'll have, you might have an employee issue, someone calls out, right? And then the next day they call out, and then the next day after that, then it just gets progressively worse, where it's okay, instead of just calling out, now he called out, and you got a call back from a customer for something else. They didn't show up when they were supposed to, they didn't do what they were supposed to. It could be just a minor issue, but then the following day or a few days later, then it's the same thing, but magnified even more, right? And when those types of situations happen, because I just went through it as well, is you need to stop and think about what you've accomplished so far, and realize that even though you're going through a tough time now, there's probably been a time in your life where it's been even worse, right? And like anything else, it's we're able to adapt pretty well. And what you'll see in my personal situation, at least, is that when you have these bad times, and it's happening all the time, 3 years ago, just say 2017, 2018, again, when I'm working 80 hours a week, not making any money, anything else, was I stressed? Yeah. But it's like anything else, you just kind of get used to it. So the stress level that you're constantly in an 8, well, it starts to feel like a 5, and then something else happens and it feels like you're at 8, but it's really 10 at that point, right? And but then you get to these times where everything's been really good. Typically for me, it happens in the summertime, because I'll be down the shore for the summer, and then I come back, and then there's all these nightmare situations, because I have this habit of just kind of not completely checking out, but checking out, where I just stopped focusing as much as I should on the business. I stopped focusing on the people as much as I should have. And what happens is there's a lot of bad situations that start happening, as far as with employee issues or profitability issues, sales, whatever it may be. But anyway, just know that you're stronger than, you're capable of more than what you're giving yourself credit for. So anyway, short video. If you like these kinds of videos, thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. There's just a range of topics I end up talking about. Typically for me, it's more of a it's business, but it's also mindset. I really do think that mindset is the number one thing that must change before you can even begin to improve. The reason for that, and actually I guess I should make a separate video. I'll make a separate video. So if you're watching this, chances are that the next video, maybe I'll link it in the description or something like that. If I remember, check the next video, like, subscribe, share it, so hopefully it helps someone else. Have a good one.